then we might open it up to anybody like to ask any questions of the ambassador.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie, and welcome to the ambassador again, and send solidarity from myself and from Cashel for Palestine Group. Is there a fear, ambassador, that once the first phase is completed, hostages handed over, that Netanyahu will go back on his word, or has Trump put his stamp on it? Because I don't trust either of you, to be honest. Well, history will tell us that. But is there a fear in Palestine that once the first phase is over, that it will go back, that he will go back in and invade Gaza and the West Bank again? And a second one, Eddie hit on it earlier, October 7th, it was horrific. But we have gotten one side of it here. I don't believe 1 minute that the best equipped army in the world for 7 to 9 hours knew absolutely nothing was going on with what's going on. What is the thinking in Palestine or in that region itself as to the excuses that they gave for systems breaking down or what? I don't know. But we, like I said, they have the best equipped army in the world. To actually even think for 7 to 9 hours, they knew absolutely nothing. Just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, President Trump, he did it in the sense that he was serious about it. And like from the first few days, he sent 5 people from his administration to Israel to make sure that Netanyahu and his government to maintain the ceasefire. However, like, you know, it wasn't 100% sure implemented. And there was, like, you know, cases that Palestinians were bombarded and Israel continued to destroy some buildings and controlling and preventing the aid to come as they were agreed. But the phase is still going ahead. And I don't think that there will be back again to the war, or there will be back again to have, like, you know, as it was before the ceasefire. I still feel that it's going on. Yes, it's not 100% ceasefire, still fragile. But I think President Trump is serious about it. To what extent the Palestinians will gain out of it something strongly to believe their or to acknowledge or to recognize their rights of self-determinations, I still have a doubt. But we need to continue negotiations, because nothing, like, you know, the war stop at the end of the day with negotiations. You cannot continue forever, like, you know, in such a situation. I still have hope, and I still see that the Palestinians will continue to fight for their rights in cooperations with Egypt and Jordan, Turkey, Qatar, and all the mediators who are really playing a positive role, and of course the Arab League. So I think we still have a strong voice. For the second questions, how the people, but this is not, like, you know, easy. It's not something that at the end of the day will give, like, the freedom on a plate to the Palestinians. This is not what was planned, but we have to create this, and we have to create this by our insistence and our belief in our just rights. We will continue to do that. They will not force us to do anything that will be against our just rights and just cause and aspiration for freedom. For the second questions, how the people in Palestine see the 7th of October. You know, you will see many people, like, you know, see it. They don't look at it at 7th of October. They look at the oppression and the injustice that the Palestinian people endured for the past decades. This is how they see it. Yes, I know that as a citizen of Gaza, and I lost many many of my relatives, and it's not only me, but like, hundreds and thousands of Palestinians who lost their beloved one, their houses destroyed. Like, it's every, like, 3 houses in Gaza, there are 1 destroyed, like, more than like 85%. I don't think that anyone who lost his house or his, like, lands or his beloved one, his neighborhood would be happy with what has happened. People, they might not say anything in the past couple of years, and they might see it in a different way in the future. It was painful. And the decision that was taken on behalf of the Palestinians, taken by certain group of people, certain faction movements, and not on behalf of the whole Palestinian people. When the Palestinians decide to, we struggle against the occupations, against the colonization in Palestine. That was started in the 60s and 70s, and it was armed resistance. But when we decided that the way of peace or the path of peace is our choice, we were committed to our choice. And the Palestinians who support the PLO, they believe that this is the path for our aspiration of freedom, and support the PLO in its choice for Oslo. Yes, there are people are against or object this, but at the end of the day, this is the path that we chose. It's the peaceful path. And part of the resistance is the public resistance, non-violent resistance. And this is the way that we choose it. Yes, part of the Palestinian people choose to continue with this, and little part of them, they decided on this. And maybe in the future, things will be even more clear about who took the decision. But at the end of the day, the destructions and the outcome of this, it's painful for the Palestinians. Gaza was free of any Israelis. Yes, there was blockade, there were still occupation there, but we still see that it was really painful to the Palestinians. Yes, I see the support around the world, but this was something even before. The pain and the loss of the Palestinians needs years to be treated or to be recovered, and then you can ask the Palestinians how you think about it, how you think about the 7th of October. But at the minute, people still see bad things happen to them with all the circumstances. I am as part of the Palestinian government, as a representative of the Palestinian people. What concerned me is that now the whole world is planning for Gaza, planning for the Palestinian people, and we are not there. They are not considering us. We were one day part of any plans for the Palestinian people. Now we lost this, and everybody's deciding on behalf of the Palestinians. But the people in Palestine and the Palestinian people are a difficult equation in this. Nothing will be implemented for the Palestinian unless we will be part of it. And that's why we say that no plan will be implemented in Gaza unless there is a part of the Palestinian Authority, Palestinian leadership. Nothing will be implemented. Nothing will be enforced over the Palestinians without us. So this is where we wanted the international community to support us, to support our just cause, and to be part of any plan, any future plan for Palestine. And Gaza and the West Bank, including East Jerusalem, is one entity. It's one security. It's one law. And it's by the Palestinian leadership. and for the state of Palestine, part of the two-state solution.
Yes, good. So
Just a quick idea. Thank you, Dr. Gillian, for coming down. I remember you came to the town hall there a couple of years ago, and I mean, I'd say in the town there, people, there is, you know, like a lot of people, I suppose they're very kind of powerless when they watch the news every night, and there's a big feeling of outrage. The one thing that struck me was that, would you think that, you know, the way Trump and all them, the way he was kind of unveiling those plans, like the Riviera type of thing, that they're bringing all their own kind of people now that will rebuild, and it's money for all those developers. Like, to that one strike you, as you say, you're not being involved at all in it, and he's unveiling this massive big plan to rebuild Gaza that, you know, millions will be made by all those developers. I'm just wondering, is that the way it is, or is that just an idea?
The dream of Rivera. You know, let him dream about this. I know that they put plans. I saw many plans, like, you know, about how Gaza will look like. Yes, we endure 4 aggressions against Gaza. And every time there was a destruction. Yes, not compared to the mass destructions that happened recently after the October 23rd. But the Palestinians at the end of the day left by themselves to construct and to rebuild and to remain. And over the years, we managed. Some of the international organizations helped us. There are, like, you know, certain countries helped us, but at the end of the day, we left by our own to rebuild. And now I feel that we will be the same, because yes, I hope that this plan will, like, you know, the ceasefire will continue to be respected, and all these plans to rebuild Gaza that was put by the Americans or the outsiders, I don't think that it will work. The minute that the Palestinians will themselves be part of this reconstruction plan, I guarantee you that this will work. We will make it Riviera, but it's our own Riviera. Because Gaza was like this for its citizens, for its people. Everyone who arrived from Gaza recently to Ireland, they were talking about Gaza, about their dream, that they were very happy. Yes, regardless the blockade, but they managed to create with this 360 square kilometers their dream. It's for them, it's home. It's home. And nobody can compare any part of the world than home, whether it's Rivera or I don't know what you want to call it, or a normal, like, you know, neighborhood or a normal place. But this is for its people. This is how we consider it. So we will build the Riviera ourselves if there will be stability. Sorry.
Did you mean that's a good thing not to have it open, or that's still closed? Is it that raft?
Rafah still closed, yeah.
And is that stopping the aid getting in?
I think it's not, like, you know, it's open for certain, like, not open for passengers to go and come. But I think it's the crossing that is open is Karm Abu Salim, where is the trucks come in, like, you know, but it's not, because the opening of Rafah crossing as agreed on the plan that will be according to the like 1995 agreement between the European Union, Israel and Palestine. So part of the Palestinian Authority must be there, and the EU must be there. Until now, Israel didn't agree, like, you know, to open. Yes, yeah. So it's not open, no.
Ambassador, thank you very much. What do you think of the suggestion that the PLO has lost its authority among Palestinians since Oslo? Because the Israelis have just used the Oslo process to, if you like, co-opt and use the Palestinian Authority to do their own policing for them, and if if you think there's some valid, if you think that's a valid criticism, how do you think the PLO can recover its right to claim to represent the Palestinians against the occupying state?
PLO as a body is the only legitimate representative of the Palestinian people. It's by the Arab League, by the United Nations, and the State of Palestine, which was recognized in 2012, as well is the body that represented by the Palestinian Authority, and it's originally the PLO. Like any kind of saying over the legitimacy of the PLO is just a way of distorting the reality. The body as itself, we need to protect it, because this is the legitimate body that represent the Palestinian people. We had election back in 1996, and there was a supposed in 2006, and there was an election, I think by the end of 2020, but there was everything was prepared for the elections of presidential and the Palestine National Council, but it was the idea of Israel prevent the East Jerusalem citizens to vote. That was an issue for the Palestinians to postpone the election in itself. Like, people can be criticized. People can speak about, I don't like this person, or I don't like this person, but this is totally a Palestinian issue. And I don't think that you will allow me or any foreigner to interfere in the selection or the selection of your representative. This is totally Palestinians. Yes, you might find some people disagree or they are not happy with, but at the end of the day, the election must be the only way that shows the whole world that how the Palestinian will select their representative. But the body itself is there. The people change over the time, and they were changing, and there will be a change. To be given this opportunity for election and free elections, we need stability. I think in the past couple of years, we passed through a very, difficult situation that wouldn't allow such a thing, such election to happen in Gaza. Of course, the genocide and the situation in the West Bank. The election and the Palestinian leadership, they guarantee that there will be election after a year of the ceasefire. And I think everybody is committed to this, and the president himself, is committed to this. There is reforms that has been going on since we start to talk about, engaging of the Palestinian Authority. But I want to mention something here, that the Palestinian Authority itself, it's weakened over the years by the Israeli regimes, by the Israeli state. They don't want to see this body that it's the core of the Palestinian, the future Palestinian state. And we as a Palestinians still see it, this is the core and the body that we need to protect. Israel destroying and try to destroy the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank and of course in Gaza Strip, and encourage this separation between the Gaza and the West Bank. This is not something that that we are happy with. We're trying all the years, the previous years, even after Oslo, to defend our right to have our own governments, our own body. The PLO is the only representative. Yes, I mean, reforms is really going on, and I am sure that in any future elections, the Palestinian people will freely select their representative. It's not the time now. It's the time for reforms. It's the time that we need to be all together to support this legislative, this legitimate body of representing the Palestinian people. This is how I see it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you very much for taking the time. I'm sure you're very busy, so we really appreciate it. Going forward, how can Ireland support Palestine in terms of the rebuilding of Palestine? And are you in close contact with our government? And are they supportive? We see stuff on the news and so on, but it'd be nice to hear about what's actually happening behind the scenes, and have we a commitment to supporting Palestine going forward?
Yes, I mean, Ireland played a really key role in supporting the Palestinians in Europe and internationally on the many international platforms. The Irish voice, like, official voice, and of course, like this was reflected from the support of the nation. And that was reflected on many, as I said, within the EU in different aspects, in different forms, in different ways. It started with, like, the recognition of the state of Palestine. Ireland lead in this in Europe, and in support of Spain and Norway, they recognize the state of Palestine, which is not symbolic. This is something historic step that was taken by Ireland. Its acknowledgement and recognition of the right of self-determination of the Palestinian people, and to save the two-state solution. And then the discussion over the EU-Israeli associations, they were strongly support this and take it into the different level, where more than 17 European countries support to discuss this. And that was led by Ireland. It's, yes, a small country, but it's very effective in their role and in their action and behavior in when it comes to the justice and human rights of the Palestinian people. Your team in the UN is working closely with our team in the UN in several resolutions when it comes to the Palestinians. Your support, not only like the government of Ireland support the Ministry of Education in Palestine, and since 2019, Ireland cover 1 year the master degree for the Palestinian students. Every year, Ireland receives 30 students coming from Palestine. This program was very strong, and it was the first of its kind for Ireland to support the Palestinians. And I know that the continuous support for UNRWA, Ireland always lead in to support UNRWA. And when, European countries stopped the support after the 7th of October, Ireland lead and played really a key role in bringing back the support to UNRWA, and they continue to support UNRWA in millions of euros on a yearly basis. I know that during the 7th, after the 7th of October, Ireland evacuated Palestinians who holds Irish passports. Ireland as well agreed to host 30 children, Palestinian injured children, to be treated in Ireland with their families. They have already, as I said, arrived 19 child with their relatives in Ireland, and they are really very well looked after in every aspects, like health-wise, social-wise, mental health, social support. The Irish government, the plans that they put for these children, I cannot compare it with any other country. It's one of the best. It's the best actually program for the children who were evacuated under the agreement between the WHO and the EU. Ireland is leading in that, actually, when they set the full program, health and social, and as I said, mental support to these children and their families as well, and the continued aid support that goes from from the Irish people to the Palestinians. Arrange this, whether it's with the Egyptian governments or the Jordanian, and I know that there is continuous support and aid goes to Gaza. I wanted to mention here your team in Ramallah, the embassy of of Ireland in Ramallah and in Jordan and in Egypt, the teams who work in these embassies during the evacuations, the feedback that I had from all these people who arrived or who were evacuated, comparing to the others, and I can see proudly that comparing to the others, they were one of the best, who were look after and treatment and caring about the children and the families. So your embassy in Jordan, Ramallah and Egypt, the ambassadors and the team, the diplomatic team and the team in general, and in Ramallah, of course, they were very engaging and supportive. The support, as I said, politically and financially continues as well. Build the Palestinian capacity over the years as well continues. So there is a huge support that comes from the Irish government, and of course the support that came from the Irish people, not even after the 7th of October and even before. I'm here for so many years and I could see, I travel and meet many Irish people from the north to the south, from the east to the west. I see this support always reflected in different ways, and this is acknowledgement and recognition of how the Irish people, whether on the official level or the nation level, is really supportive. I mentioned maybe something, I missed something, but I mean, this is what I need to focus or to point out, this support.
I think it's important for us to keep that up.
Yes, and you're
do more.
yes, your government,
practically.
yeah, your government is really engaging with our governments to see in which areas that they will support. I know that this is now it's the planning phase over what's going to be in Gaza, but I know that you're engaging closely as well. I don't want to the International Alliance for the Two-State Solution. I mean, you're engaging in a very positive way, and you're there in all the meetings and supporting our team and the team for the Two-State Solution. So you're engaged as well politically on a different levels.
Great.
Just in relation to your support, Mr. Right, this phase, I suppose, it's gone on for decades, but it's these that actually make the world aware of the horrors that's going on this time. They haven't let Western journalists in, so we don't know the full extent even what's coming out. But is the Palestinian people themselves aware of the support they have, not just in Ireland, but worldwide? You're seeing now millions of people actually this time around compared to other phases of the troubles. That's from Australia, America, every place. Are the Palestinian people aware? Is there information getting in that there is that kind of support worldwide? Now, from I suppose where I'm.
This is the only way that was in any Palestinians during this period, and they were it's their window to the whole world. I think the Palestinian telecommunication company was working on the ground, even with all this destruction. They're trying to provide the people. And I wanted to mention that the Palestinian telecommunication companies, I don't want to name the company itself, but in general, all of them, they made a huge support to the citizens in Gaza. And there were extra minutes, not extra, actually minutes, free minutes that given, and internet, I don't know how they, yes, to the citizens of Gaza, every month was given to every single holder of mobile in Gaza. So there was a way that we communicate. Yeah, there are periods that there were cut, but it's because of the attack of the Israelis, but they recovered it very quickly. So that was kind of help to the Palestinians to have their own windows to see. You cannot imagine, to be honest, I didn't expect to see that every Palestinian knows about Ireland. I know that they know about the other nations of the world, but they know Irish people, how they are really supportive of the Palestinians. So these protests, the weekly or the daily protests that since the beginning, since October 23, it's known and acknowledged and valued by the Palestinians, who in Gaza and of course in the West Bank as well.
I'm just watching the time, but still have time because Dr. Gillan has another appointment, and she's going to have to leave quite soon. But maybe there's another question. Somebody else might want to ask a question.
Just sort of one last one. The occupied territories bill, I mentioned about several occasions, Ambassador. Is there any move on that? There was this promise before the election that was going to be passed, but it seems to be rolled back on. Have you?
I heard yesterday Senator Frances Black was talking like, in the Senate, and she mentioned that next week she will be meeting the Taoiseach. I don't know the Taoiseach or the Taoiseach. I think the Taoiseach, and she will get like, an update. I know that the Foreign Affairs Committee, they had a very strong report over the services and of course, like, to the goods. I see that this support come across the parties and the nation themselves. I still see that there is an opportunity to pass the Occupied Territories Bill because this support wouldn't go without, like, recognized or acknowledged by the government.
They have to stand, our leaders, our elected representatives have to have the courage to stand up to pressure from elsewhere not to pass that bill. It's been quite clear. There's been threats made about the withdrawal of investment and other aggressive business activity.
You know what? The pressure since the first day. And I saw the 5 stages passed by the Senate and the 3 stages until the recent report by the Foreign Affairs Committee. And the pressure didn't stop one day.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something here that I discovered, in the past few weeks, that the American people, they don't understand exactly what is the Occupied Territories Bill. They just think that it's a boycott of Israel. And I think this is very well accepted and known by all the Americans that Ireland is boycotting Israel out of this bill. The most important thing at this stage that your voices goes to the United States and to tell and explain that this is not boycotting of Israel, it's boycotting of illegal occupied, yes, it's occupied territory. And this is very important. This is very, very important. And this is this bill is really, I mean, within it's about it's within the EU laws and within the international law. I mean, the settlements built on the stolen lands of the Palestinians are illegal according to the Security Council 2334, and this was passed by in 2016 in the Security Council. Yes, the United States abstained, but it was a resolution that worked together between the Palestinians and the Americans. So this is something that we should not forget. And this bill is based on these, the international law. But anyway, I mean, I know that it's not easy, and I know with the support of the people and the nation here, and with your representative, I trust that the Irish government will always act within the interest of the Irish people.
Great. So just then to bring it to a close and talking about the Irish people as well, I just want to mention, as Dr. Gillan is well aware, I mean, Michael D. Higgins has been such a fantastic supporter of the Palestinian cause way before any of these recent extraordinary events. And Catherine Connolly as well, our new president.
Yeah, we congratulate her.
Pardon?
We congratulate her.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Wish her all the best.
Yeah. And I just want to finish up on a positive note. And also a note on how somehow the reality of the situation has been distorted for so many years, but it goes way back in time that the true reality was distorted. For example, there's a new book out by Jonathan Dimbleby, who some of us may be aware of. He was a very famous British broadcaster and journalist. And in that book, he writes that he spoke with Golda Meir in 1969, interviewing her. She was one of a president of Israel at the time. And he says, in 1969, Golda Meir said, "There is no such thing as Palestinians. They do not exist." And he mentions in his book that he was in Palestine at the time. And of course, he was looking at hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. And in his book now, he writes, and this is, I think, really important, and a celebration of the spirit of the Palestinian people and why they have, in my view, reversed the David Goliath story. But anyway, he writes, what we are reminded of is the abiding resilience of Palestinian nationhood in the face of constant adversity. Scattered they may be across the Arab world, the US and Europe, but the idea of self-determination in their historic homeland is undimmed. And I think that's what your own spirit brings that out here in the room.
Yeah.
So I'm really thankful, Dr. Gillan, for your wonderful insights and sharings, and thankful to everybody else that's here. And I just want to mention, having been in the motor business for a long time, I wouldn't miss a trick in marketing. But
So we get a free cat.
One for everybody in the audience.
somebody asked me earlier on, what is the Thinking Centre about? And I said, you really need to go into our website and have a look. So for anybody that's interested afterwards, it's www.thethinkingcentre.com. And if you wanted to subscribe, it just means your name will go on the emailing list and you get to know about the activities that are taking place here. We started this 10 years ago. My partner, Catherine Morrissey, came up with the name Thinking Centre. And I said to her, why are you coming up with that name? And she said, it should be a place where people can think, when it's necessary, differently about things. And I said, Catherine, that's exactly what I had in mind. But thank you very much, Catherine, for putting on words. And once again, Dr. Gillan, great having you.
Thank you very much.